Some movies are easy to love, some are easy to dismiss. And then, there are the ones that sneak up on you. They might be cult classics, misunderstood sequels, or genre-shaping originals. But they all have something in common. They deserve a second look. Welcome to Five Films. This is 5 films you should like if you don't already. And in this episode, I'm sharing 5 films that span monsters, superheroes, true crime comedies, apocalyptic futures, and the birth of the modern zombie. Let's get into it.
You gotta get the Bixby, and you gotta get the police up here, and you gotta step on it.
Consider it stepped on.
In 1990's Tremors, Kevin Bacon plays Valentine McGee, and Fred Ward plays Earl Bassett, 2 handymen desperate to escape their tiny desert town. Just as they're about to leave, something beneath the ground starts picking off locals. With the help of a geology student, Rhonda Lebeck, played by Finn Carter, a survivalist couple, Bert and Heather Gummer, played by Michael Gross and Reba McEntire, the town bands together to fight a threat that's literally impossible to see coming. Here are 5 reasons you should like it, if you don't already. First, it nails the horror comedy balance. Scary enough to raise your pulse, funny enough to keep you smiling, the tone is pitch perfect. Second, the cast is irresistibly charming. Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward's banter makes you root for them immediately, and Michael Gross became a cult legend as Bert. Third, the monsters are brilliantly designed. This is a stellar example of practical effects done right. Gross, creative, and still convincing decades later. Fourth, it's a small movie with a big idea. The isolated desert setting turns the story into a tight, clever survival puzzle. And fifth, it's incredibly rewatchable. Whether it's your first watch or your 5th, the blend of suspense, laughs, and creature feature fun never gets old.
I don't want to do it. Dude, I don't want to do it.
Okay, are you ready?
Okay,
Come on,
you have
do
to
it.
Give me a countdown.
I will,
okay?
I promise. Ah!
2012's Chronicle sees 3 high school students, Andrew, played by Dane DeHaan, Matt, played by Alex Russell, and Steve, played by Michael B. Jordan, as they encounter a mysterious glowing object underground, and as a result of interacting with it, develop superpowers. These powers manifest at first as fun pranks and flight tests, but they quickly spiral as Andrew's troubled home life collides with his newfound abilities, pushing the group toward a dark and dangerous path. Here are 5 reasons you should like this film if you don't already. First, it reinvented the superhero origin story. No costumes, no cliches, just raw, grounded escalation that feels unnervingly real. Second, Dane DeHaan is mesmerizing. His turn from awkward outcast to dangerous anti-hero is one of the most convincing character arcs in modern sci-fi. Third, the found footage style works brilliantly. The camera gimmick isn't a distraction in this film. It makes the powers feel more authentic and intimate. Fourth, it's a reminder that power reveals character. The film asks the timeless question, what would you do if you could? And doesn't shy away from the darkest answers. And fifth, it packs an emotional punch. Beneath the spectacle, it's really a tragedy about friendship, pain, and how fragile our choices can be.
Let's do it. Let's rob Loomis Fargo.
David! Oh! I think that bullet just went straight between your cheeks.
Yeah, it feels like it just grazed my biscuits right there betwixt them.
2016's Masterminds is based on a true story. In this film, Zach Galifianakis plays David Gant, a bumbling armored truck driver who's lured into a $17 million heist by his coworker Kelly, played by Kristen Wiig, and her sketchy friend Steve, played by Owen Wilson. Once the money's stolen, David finds himself on the run, dodging both FBI and a hitman played with absurd menace by Jason Sudeikis. Here are 5 reasons you should like Masterminds if you don't already. First, it's a true crime story turned ridiculous. The heist actually happened, but the comedy spins it into a wonderfully absurd caper. Second, the cast is stacked with comedic talent. Galifianakis, Wiig, Wilson, and Sudeikis all lean into their weirdest instincts, and it works really well. Third, It's awkward in the best way. The humor comes from uncomfortable pauses, bizarre choices, and characters who just keep doubling down. Fourth, it's a great background comedy. Light, silly, quotable. It's the kind of movie you can just throw on with friends and still laugh at it in pieces. Fifth, it reminds you that real life is stranger than fiction. The fact that this level of chaos was inspired by reality makes it even funnier.
This is John Connor. If you're listening to this, you are the Resistance.
2009's Terminator Salvation is set in the post-apocalyptic future after Judgment Day. This entry shifts the focus to the war between humans and Skynet. Christian Bale plays John Connor, still fighting to fulfill his destiny as humanity's leader, while Sam Worthington plays Marcus Wright, a death row inmate who wakes up in this ruined world with no memory of how he got there. Anton Yelchin, God rest his soul, shows up as a young Kyle Reese. Here are 5 reasons you should like Terminator Salvation, if you don't already. First, it finally shows the future war. Fans have always wanted to see the nightmare teased in the earlier films, and this one delivers the full battlefield version. Second, Sam Worthington steals the movie. His performance as Marcus is layered, conflicted, and easily the most interesting part of the film. Third, it expands the Terminator franchise mythology. Instead of rehashing time travel loops, it explores new angles in the Terminator universe. Fourth, the action still holds up. Gritty battles, giant harvesters, and intense set pieces that feel different from the polished spectacle of later sequels. And fifth, this movie is way better in hindsight. Compared to what came after, Genesis, Dark Fate, this one feels like a more serious attempt to evolve the franchise.
Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny.
You're still afraid.
Stop it now, I mean it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
1968's Night of the Living Dead is George A. Romero's low-budget black and white masterpiece. It begins with Barbara, played by Judith O'Dea, and her brother visiting a cemetery, when the dead suddenly rise. Barbara finds herself trapped in a farmhouse with a group of strangers, led by Ben, played by Dwayne Jones, in a groundbreaking performance. As the world outside collapses into chaos, what unfolds is both a fight for survival and a razor-sharp reflection on the times. Here are 5 reasons you should like Night of the Living Dead if you don't already. First, it invented the modern zombie genre. Every zombie movie, show, or game you've ever seen owes its existence to this film. Second, Dwayne Jones' performance is historic. Casting a black lead in 1968 and giving him dignity and authority was revolutionary, and it still resonates. Third, the atmosphere is genuinely unsettling. The grainy black and white, the claustrophobic farmhouse, the radio and TV broadcasts, it all feels eerily real. Fourth, it's social commentary disguised as horror. Issues of race, gender, mistrust, and mob mentality simmer under the surface and make the ending unforgettable. And fifth, it proves budget doesn't limit impact. Shot for peanuts with unknown actors, it became one of the most influential films ever made. So, there you have it, 5 films you should like, if you don't already. From desert monsters to teenage superheroes, from bumbling thieves to killer machines, and finally, the film that created an entire genre. These movies don't all have the same reputation, but they all deliver something worth revisiting. Which one's your favorite? Which ones are you curious about? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you want more surprising picks, hit subscribe. This is 5 Films. Thanks for watching.